Hello, welcome to my Facebook Live, sharing crafty inspiration with you with cards, products, and great ideas. This card is actually one of the cards I have recently shared at our retreat day, which was in June. Seems like such a long time ago, such a long time ago now. But yeah, this is one of the cards I did, and it is to feature the lovely Sweet Jar bundle of the stamp set and the coordinating punch. This Sweet Jar has lots and lots of fun ideas. But I also wanted to show you that this month you can also get, if you get this bundle with the punch and the stamp set, you can also get excuse me, this one, Christmas one, which will also coordinate with your punch for Christmas time. I'm busily trying to boot up so that I can see exactly where we are. So, Jar of Joy, Sweet Jar, both of those stamp sets will coordinate with your Sweet Jar punch. But let's get into this card here. For my card base, look, it's had a little bit of a drama when it was being used in the class, but I'll be able to make another one which will sort that out. I am using the lovely embossed cards and envelopes. These ones, in case you've missed them, are actually in the Mix and Match Quick and Easy section of our catalogue. Embossed Designs Mix and Match. There are stripes and spots, and I'm using the spotty ones for this card. Now they're actually perfect for scrapbooking size as well, 6x4 as well, because they're a little bit bigger. And for my card, it's very simple actually, very simple. There's my greeting, which you can use any scrap for. Basic grey mats for inside and the front of my card, and then I've got two pieces to create my jar. So let's start stamping. We get our Sweet Jar out of the box. Here we go. There's our jar. What else do I need? I could do something different. There's the jelly beans there, but we could have perhaps the flowers. Let's try that to see how that looks on the card. And then I also need my happy birthday, which is here. And I think that's everything. Okay. Oops. I've just had a cascade of things all falling down over here off camera. Thank goodness. Okay. And so let's start with our jar. This I think is the only grey granite, basic grey I need to use, and that is here. Now, it is always good to make sure you're holding your cardstock the same way that the punch is. So I'm just going to stamp off to the right here, because that way, when I punch it out, it's easy to do. I can just slide it in, hold it on the side, use it as a tab, and then punch it out. And while I'm punching, I'll also punch my little bit of silver foil for the lid of my jar. There we go. So that's all the punching done. And now my Timid Tiger. Timid Tiger, I'm not usually a great user of orange ink, but this Timid Tiger I've actually used a couple of times. I'm going to stamp my happy birthday on this little strip here, little scrap, which I will trim. But I'm also going to stamp happy birthday all over my background piece to create my own sort of designer series paper look. I used this technique in another card today, stamping onto designer paper as well. So if you follow my blog, that was on this morning, or it should have been posted this morning on my page too. So there you go, happy birthday. And I've stamped it all over the place randomly upside down, so that it doesn't matter if it's not exactly straight. So just going to wipe my, just in case. And then last of all, stamping my flowers inside my jar. Being photopolymer, it's good to be able to see, make sure I've inked it up properly, and stamp that inside my jar. There we go. And then I'm also going to stamp some flowers across the bottom of my piece for inside my card, and stamp happy birthday again for the inside of my card. There we go. Now, could you use the same style for this one? Look what you've got in the jar of joy. You've got a little snowman, gingerbread men and cookies, bickies and decorations. So I'll have to have a go making this exact card with Christmas theme and see how that goes. Okay, so I'm going to pop my inside panel onto my basic grey here. I've used really long thin pieces to highlight, for one, that the card base is nice and tall, but also it really makes the jar stand out, I think. So pop this one on the front of my card, happy birthday. So I think sometimes it's hard to make cards for the guys. I think this one is one you possibly could give to the fellas. The colours are sort of a bit neutral, except perhaps with the flower maybe. All right, I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of my jar. And pop that up. Here we go. Pop you down there. Find my lid. Now I'm going to be a little bit, cheat a little bit with my lid, because the foam tape works really, really well for long, thin pieces, and I don't have to trim my dimensionals very much. And with my happy birthday, I'm going to put a bit of foam tape, I'll just trim this bit, on this end, and snail on the other end. Because it overlaps the jar, and that'll keep it all at the same height. So there we've got stuck on there, but also at the same height with the dimensionals there. Keep my lid a little bit ajar. And then the final touch is some holographic dots, which I can just pop around to look sparkly. Aren't these beautiful? I love the way these holographic dots pick up all of the details of the cardstock and the stamping that you use them with. There you go. Happy birthday with the sweet jar. And watch this space when I have a go using the jar of joy. So the jar is basically the same. The lid is slightly different, but the insides of the jar. Sending you a jar full of cheer and wishing you the sweetest Christmas. Isn't that cute? I hope you like that. Quick today, very quick. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and thanks for dropping by. Bye.